what if my whole life has been wrong? I mean, can you imagine? That's a devastating question to ask yourself. Well, today, we're going to explore how that one question, asked by a man on his deathbed, completely inspired the life's work of Dr. Wayne Dyer. And maybe, just maybe, what it means for the music that's still inside you. So yeah, let's dive right in.
So where does this question even come from? It's from a short story by Leo Tolstoy, and it's about this guy, Ivan Ilyich. He's a judge, and he spent his entire life just hating it. Hating his job, hating his wife, blaming literally everyone else for how miserable he was. And then, on his deathbed, he looks into his wife's eyes, and those are the last words he ever says. Talk about a devastating realization right at the very end. Wow. Okay, so now picture this, a 19-year-old Wayne Dyer. He's in the Navy, he's crossing the Pacific Ocean for the very first time, and he reads those words. For him, it was one of those moments that just changes everything. It hit him so hard that it made him ask a totally different question about his own life. Right then and there, he made a vow to himself that would basically become his life's guiding principle, his North Star. Don't die with your music still inside you. But, to really live that, he had to figure out what was keeping that music locked away in the first place. Not just for himself, but for all of us. So what's the biggest thing holding us back? Well, according to Dyer and a lot of his spiritual teachers, it's something he called the false self. Think of it like a counterfeit personality that we build up over time. And the whole thing is built on a foundation of illusion. Okay, so what exactly is this false self? It's basically the part of us that believes we're totally separate from our spiritual source, It's the voice that tells us our value, our worth, is based on what we get, what we achieve in the material world. It really is like a mask that we wear for so long, we completely forget we're even wearing it.
So Dyer breaks this false self, which he also calls the ego, down into three main beliefs that really keep us trapped. First up, I am what I have. This is what drives us to just keep getting more and more and more stuff. The second one is, I am what I do. This is the one that forces us to constantly compete and achieve. And finally, number three, I am what others think of me. This one makes our reputation our master.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. Dyer had this great acronym for it, EGO, stood for edging God out. It's this idea that our false self is constantly pushing our true spiritual connection, our inner guidance, right out of the picture. And what does it replace it with? A desperate, never-ending need for approval from the outside world.
All right, so how in the world do we fight back against this thing? How do we overcome such a powerful force? Well, for Wayne Dyer, the answer wasn't something he could just read in a book. Nope, he found it by turning around and facing his deepest, most personal pain head-on.
You see, Dyer grew up in orphanages, and for decades he carried this immense rage for the father who had abandoned him. It just ate him alive for years. Then, in 1974, he finds himself standing at his father's grave, a man he had never, ever met. And in that one moment, he made a choice. He chose to forgive him. And the release, it was instant. All that rage, gone. Just like that. His life was never the same. And it's wild, because just a few days later, his life's work, the stuff we all know him for, just started pouring out of him. Dyer loved to share this quote from Mark Twain, and it's beautiful. For him, forgiveness was never about saying, oh, what you did was okay. Not at all. It was about choosing to respond with grace. It was about aligning yourself with such a high spiritual nature that love is literally all you have to give, no matter what someone has done to you. And I mean, this one principle, it changed everything in his life. Dyer had this huge realization that to really change, he needed to stop disappointing the highest part of himself. He had to stop worrying so much about disappointing other people. And that one commitment, that single shift in focus, it led him to 22 years of sobriety after a whole lifetime of daily drinking. Pretty incredible. So, this massive inner shift naturally led him to a whole new way of living his life. And he found inspiration in the ancient wisdom of the Tao, which it basically translates to the Great Way. And here you can really see the two paths laid out. On one side, you've got the ego. It's telling you, get more, fight harder, prove you're worthy. On the other side, you have the Tao, your true self, and it's teaching you to just let go, to surrender, to trust, and to remember that we're all connected. It's a huge shift, right? It's going from trying to control every little thing in life to just allowing life to flow through you. And look, for Wayne Dyer, this wasn't just some nice idea or theory. He really lived it. On his 65th birthday, he felt this incredibly strong pull to fully embrace this idea of letting go. So what did he do? He gave his assistant the key to his office, an office filled with over 20,000 books, all his awards, his records, the whole shebang, and he told her,
give it all away. Then he just walked away from everything.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Those haunting words from Ivan Illich sent Wayne Dyer on a lifelong journey to make sure he never, ever died with his music still inside him. And what he found was that the key was quieting the ego, healing himself through forgiveness, and learning to live in sync with his true self. So, we'll leave you with the exact same question he asked himself all those years ago. What music is still inside you?